So this is going to be a response to a major YouTuber. I think she's a lot of subs. She has like maybe 500,000 subs. Her name was Amanda's Chronicles. I think she still goes by that. Anyway, she recently came out as trans, as non-binary to be more specific, but really, like, she doesn't really show any dysphoria. She's just like a butch lesbian, basically. And like, I avoided her videos for a long time, even though she was kind of SJW-y. Because she was just so annoying. Her videos, oh my god. Like, they make Onision look bearable. I'm serious. Her videos are so irritating, and this one is no exception. So I'm going to try and get through this, because it does irritate me, because she's coming out as trans, even though it's just about how masculine she is as a woman. So let's just get into the video.
I can't stop laughing. This is like so absurd. Well, if anyone's gonna end up being trans, it's gonna be me.
Just because you're a butch lesbian, that somehow makes you more likely to be trans. No, Amanda, or whatever she's going by now. I'm not sure exactly what she's going by now. No, like, stop lightly joking and you know, lightly implying that you're trans if you're not, because you're gonna see later in the video, it's clear that she's not trans. That she's just kind of jumping on the bandwagon.
God damn it. This video is gonna be absolutely all over the place, but there are things that I need to say so I can move forward. So I'm gonna say them here. I was so scared to make this video. And not just make this video, but just go forward in my life, doing what I wanna do.
I'm sure you can see why her videos are so annoying now. She literally has a jump cut like every single second. It's so irritating.
Good advice I was told was that you can choose to be. You have all the power in your life. You can choose to be happy, you can choose to be sad. You can choose to be you. Yeah, so there was always forces in my life growing up where it's like, hey, be whoever you wanna be, but don't do that. That's something that's not okay, but be who you want to be. I think I was really me as a child. I lost myself for a bit in my teen years, and then I got it back. And I've just been trying to put the language to how I feel now, and I think I finally put the puzzle together. I feel so good. I feel the most me I have since I was a child. I also feel so terrified. And the thing is, I wouldn't even feel a need to come out if it wasn't like, hey, I'm gonna change my name and I'm gonna go on T. Because that's what I'm doing. Amanda has, that sounds so weird to say out loud. Amanda is a name that I've never felt super comfy with.
Yeah, that's not evidence of you being trans. I'm sorry.
So what a cruel name for someone like me. Amanda.
I'm not laughing.
There's so many things that's been on my shoulders, man. There's so many things. We had uniforms when I was in elementary school, and I always wore the boy ones. I never wore the girl ones. I never felt weird or uncomfy in myself. I was always on sports teams. All my friends were guys. Nothing was ever weird until I was, I think, 8 years old. I was on the playground and there was all these boys underneath the jungle gym. So I went there because I saw my friends, and some boy who I didn't know started yelling, and he was like, hey, she can't be in here. There's no girls allowed. You can't be here. And I remember my stomach dropping, and I'd never been like singled out before for being a girl. Like, everything was always like really okay. Then my friend, he stood up for me and he said, no, that's Amanda, she's okay. And then he said, and I'll never forget this, she's just a boy trapped in a girl's body. And I just stopped. And the kid who was yelling at me was like, oh, okay. And then everyone just went back to like playing. And I was just standing there like, am I a boy in a girl's body? Is that what I am? Is that what you all think wait. Didn't get the memo. I was just like living life, but now I'm like having a crisis. And
yeah, that's not evidence you're trans either. I'm sorry. Some little kid who doesn't probably even know what being trans is, likening you to a trans person just because you're masculine, that's not evidence of you being trans. You haven't brought up any actual dysphoria yet.
And there was things in my home life through middle school where I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to be a girl, and I would wear dresses, and I did makeup, and I had my hair down. We've talked about this in other videos, I've said things. But since I was 14, I've been like obsessively looking up trans guy stuff. Learned absolutely everything I could about it, and you know, I was always like, I'm not trans. Like, I'm not a trans guy. I'm not. Like, I just am not. But I didn't feel like a girl, and it felt weird people saying she, and I was like, I don't know what's wrong with me. So it's like my whole life I've had this crisis where I'm like, I just don't feel good. So for the longest time, I was like, I don't identify with gender. I really don't give a damn. Trying to find a label caused me more harm than help because I was like, I don't know. Am I trans? Am I not? I don't feel good. So for me, personally, as myself, I've always tried to put myself in the binary. It was like I had to be a guy or I had to be a girl.
Yes, because there are only two genders, just like there are only two sexes. Like you're saying, oh, it's so constraining, there are only two genders. No, that's just how it is.
Do one of those, which isn't me. Like, I'm not a guy, but I'm also not a girl. Which is a scary thing to come out as because there's no one in like the media that's like, hey, I'm really not anything. I'm just kind of here and I'm doing whatever I want from both.
So first of all, if you identify as non-binary, as not a guy nor a girl, then why are you going on testosterone, which is a male hormone? Why are you acting like a trans guy? Why are you relating your experiences as if you were a trans guy? Why does it say right in the title, so I'm trans? I just hate people conflating identify as non-binary as being trans. Second of all, maybe the reason why there's no one in the media who identifies that way. By the way, I think Miley Cyrus identifies as gender fluid now. But the reason why there aren't celebrities or people in the media coming out is maybe because there's no evidence for that. And then finally, she talks about people identifying as non-binary so that they can take their favorite aspects from both genders, which is something that really irritates me when people conflate that with being trans. Because sure, you can identify as whatever you want and be all androgynous and take what you want from both genders, but being cool and edgy and wanting the best of both worlds, you know, instead of actually just being born one way or the other. Just because you want the best of both worlds doesn't mean you get to conflate that with being trans, because trans is not a choice. It's not like, oh, I want to be cool and I want to take the aspects that I like from both being a male and being a female. No, that's not how it works. Trans is having deep pain, discomfort, and dysphoria with your body, and then transitioning. And then also, you've never brought up any such dysphoria. So how are you trans at all? I don't get it.
I identify as non-binary. It's not female, it's not male, it's non-binary. What a concept. It's not female, it's not male, it's something completely different.
And where's the evidence for this, that something completely different exists? There's nobody born with a completely different sex that's like a third sex, so why would there be a third sex in the brain? Like, you're making no sense. Even most people identify as non-binary identify as like some sort of combination or in between or whatever, one of the two genders. They still relate it to one of the two genders. You're not even doing that. You're saying you're some like weird entity that has nothing to do with being male, nothing to do with being female, nothing to do with being anything. And it just makes no sense. It just makes no sense.
Gender just doesn't exist in my world. And if it does in yours, then like I just don't want to live in it. And I was like, okay, I get it. There's no, like the light bulb went off and I finally got it. There's no rules. I can wear a bra and boxer briefs. I can bind and not have to pack. I can do everything and I can do nothing. I can do whatever I want.
Yes, you can do whatever you want, but that doesn't make you trans. Stop comparing this to being trans. Stop comparing this to having actual gender dysphoria. This is really getting my nerves.
Change my name and I'm gonna do it legally. Miles. My name is Miles. My name is Miles. Miles McKenna. Miles!
Okay, I got it the third time you said that, Miles. But that's a male name. Why do you want a male name if you want to be gender neutral? I don't get it.
Is my channel gonna be Miles? Is it gonna be Miles Chronicles? Is it gonna be Miles McKenna? I don't know. These are questions I don't have answers for, but that's fine. Pronouns are they, them, but I identify as trans, non-binary.
Stop calling yourself trans. You can identify as non-binary all you want, but that's not the same thing as being trans. Stop comparing. Stop conflating things. And how about you actually talk about evidence that you're trans, if you're so convinced that you're trans? Like, are you dysphoric? Is there a reason that you're going on testosterone other than trying to prove how trans you are? I honestly think that this girl is going to regret transitioning if she does. I hope that she doesn't.
I've never said my pronouns before on the internet. I've absolutely never done that. Through the past 2 years, I've gotten texts from friends of mine being like, hey, did you come out? And I'm like, what? And they're like, check your Instagram, because there's always like fights in my Instagram comments of people being like, I love him, and people being like, fuck you, that's a girl, and they're like, no, they're they, and I'm like, I don't know, thank you for the compliment, nothing is ever malicious.
So I think I've realized why you identify the way you identify now. It's because so many people have been pressuring you to adopt some sort of trans label. Because of course any girl who's masculine must be trans, obviously. There's not such thing as a tomboy or masculine girl anymore. No, if you're a girl you have to act 100% feminine, if you're a guy you have to act 100% masculine, otherwise you're non-binary. It just really irritates me because it's you know, restricting people's freedom to just be who they are, and it's making it look like actual trans people are just transitioning because they don't conform to gender roles.
My friend Rain Dove said something that really set with me well, which is that language is just a combination of sounds. So something like a name or a pronoun is just a sound that you would like to hear. Amanda is not a sound that I would like to hear. Miles is. Changing your name is something that humans don't typically do, but this is something I'm doing.
Actually, plenty of people change their names. Stop trying to make it look like you're special.
And it's so funny coming out to people. I'm like, I changed my name, and they're always like, oh, that's funky. And I'm like, yeah, and I'm gonna start taking tea.
And why you're going to start taking tea. You've never mentioned that you have any actual sport. You've never actually laid out any proof that you are trans. Look, I just feel like you're rushing into this decision. I really hope that you see a therapist and that you're properly evaluated to see whether you do actually gender dysphoria or not, which I really don't think that she does.
And they're like, wait, that's so, wait. Like, it's so much. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna like look and sound different at some point.
And you're gonna look and sound like a guy. Why do you want to do that if you don't even identify as a guy?
Hi. And it's funny because I remember when I was in 5th grade, we were reading this book in school, and the main character's name was Miles. And I remember as like a 10-year-old thinking, man, that's such a cool name. Like, I wish my name was Miles. And it is. But it's also funny because like if I was born a cisgendered boy, I wouldn't be happy. Like, I feel like I'd be in the same situation, but flipped.
It really sets off a red flag in my mind when, people claim to be trans or transitioning. And, for example, I've seen a lot of girls who act really masculine, they claim to be trans guys, and they claim to be transitioning. And then when you ask them, when it comes up at some point whether they would rather be born male, which of course every trans guy wishes that. That's the whole point. They always say, no, if I were born a male, I would be like a trans woman, or I'd be uncomfortable with that. And that just makes no sense to me. Like, if you don't want to be born a male, then why are you transitioning?
Like, I feel really good as me. I feel good being on the in-between, in the gray area of gender.
There is no gray area of gender. Where's the scientific evidence for this?
Like, I feel really happy as me, and I wouldn't change anything for the world. And I've lived the lie before. Like, I've done my hair down, I've worn makeup, I've worn the dresses, I've done things that aren't natural to me.
Yes, that's because you're more masculine. That's not evidence that you're trans. Those aren't even really female things as much as they are feminine things, although a lot of trenders do love to do that. But you're just another one of the trenders. And it just really irritates me that you're comparing your experiences to being a trans guy. It just irritates me so much that you're claiming to go through something that's by any means similar to what I've went through.
To please other people. And that was worse. It's so much better to just be you and just live authentically. Because if someone has a problem with it, then it's like, that's awesome. I would have hung out with you otherwise, and you would have been my friend, but now you're not, and I'm being me. Like, I don't need that. But I feel so good. I feel so happy. I'm so great. This is great. Listen, kid, you're so fine. Do whatever you want in your life. I have faced so much adversity in trying to be me my whole life.
I think you're just a lesbian who, look, yeah, great, of course, be yourself, but there's no real evidence that you're trans. You don't... You're not actually talking about dysphoria or transitioning. I mean, I may be wrong, this may actually be a trans guy, but it doesn't really seem like it.
So listen, I get it, and sometimes it seems so easy to just do it. To just do what they want you to do and not be your true self. But it's gonna backfire, and you're gonna boil over, and you're gonna be so sad. I said this when I was coming out as gay, and I'm gonna say it as I'm coming out as non-binary. I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I am not. And that's my life.
And that's your life. No, that seems like it's your choice. You chose to identify this way just because you don't conform to gender roles. You don't actually have something that you can't control that makes you be this way. Stop conflating what you're going through with trans guys. Stop it.
So my name's Miles.
Okay, her outro is about the most annoying thing I've ever seen. I'm not going to ever play it for you because it's torture. So to conclude, like I said, I think this is just a girl who thinks that because she doesn't conform to gender roles, she's therefore trans, non-binary in some way. And I wonder how this is going to go with her whole, I'm so gay, I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay, in her videos. Because now she doesn't even identify as a girl, so she can't be gay. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.
Feel the funk blast.